A dream will always triumph over reality once it's given the chance. Stanisław Lem was a Polish science fiction writer, philosopher, and essayist who was widely recognized for his unique and imaginative writing style. He's considered one of the most important science fiction writers of the 20th century, and his works have been translated into over 52 languages and have sold more than 40 million copies. Some of his most famous works include the novel Solaris, which was later adapted into a film, and the collection of short stories The Star Diaries, about one of his most popular characters, Ijon Tichy. Lem's writing often explores philosophical and existential questions, and he was known for his critiques of the limitations of technology and humanity's relationship with it. Furthermore, Stanisław Lem was known for his imaginative and thought-provoking predictions about the future, many of which were woven into his science fiction stories and essays. Here are some of his major predictions. Artificial intelligence. Lem was one of the first writers to imagine the development of highly advanced artificial intelligence, and he explored the consequences of such a development in several of his works. He predicted that machines could eventually surpass human intelligence and become autonomous beings. Space exploration. Lem strongly advocated for space exploration, and he predicted the colonization of other planets and the discovery of new forms of life. In several of his works, he explored the ethical and social implications of space travel and extraterrestrial life. Technological progress. Lem was a critic of technology and its impact on society, and he predicted that technological progress would bring both benefits and drawbacks. He foresaw the dangers of over-reliance on technology and the potential for machines to replace human workers, but also recognized the potential for technology to improve our lives. Climate change. In several of his works, Lem predicted the impact of climate change on the planet and the consequences of neglecting environmental issues. He foresaw the risks of environmental degradation and the need to shift towards sustainable and environmentally responsible practices. These are just a few examples of the many predictions made by Stanisław Lem, who was known for his insightful and prescient visions of the future. Stanisław Lem was born in 1921 in Poland. During the Nazi occupation, 1941 to 1944, Lem's Jewish family survived with false papers, and Lem occasionally stole munitions from storehouses to pass them on to the Polish resistance. An aspired medical career, like his father's, was not possible because the sight of blood was one of the reasons he decided to give up medicine. Lem started his literary work in 1946 with a number of publications in different genres, including poetry, as well as his first science fiction novel, The Man from Mars. In 1951, he published his first book, The Astronauts. Thus, The Astronauts was not, in fact, the first novel Lem finished, just the first that made it past the communist state census. Only after Stalin's death was it possible for him to publish more of his ideas. Between 1956 and 1968, Lem authored 17 books. In the late 1970s and early 1980s, Lem cautiously supported the Polish dissident movement, and in 1982, Lem moved to West Berlin, Germany, and later to Vienna, Austria, before he returned to Poland in 1988. One of Lem's most famous works is the novel Solaris, which was later adapted into a film by Andrzej Tarkowski. A second adaptation, directed by Steven Soderbergh with George Clooney, was released in 2002. In this novel, Lem imagines the discovery of a mysterious planet with an equally mysterious ocean that seems to be capable of conscious thought. The story explores the ethical and philosophical implications of this discovery and raises questions about the nature of reality and the limits of human knowledge. In addition to his writing, Lem was also a philosopher and essayist, and he used his writing to explore some of the biggest questions facing humanity. He was known for his wit and humor, and his works are filled with satirical and philosophical reflections on the human condition. He died in March 2006 from a heart failure, and the Polish Parliament declared 2021 Stanisław Lem Year. New Scientist wrote about his famous book Summa Technologiae, his masterwork of non-fiction. It's amazing how much Lem got right, or even predicted. This ranges across artificial intelligence, the theory of search engines, he called it Ariadnology, bionics, virtual reality, phantomatics, technological singularity, and nanotechnology. Thank you for your attention. Who is your favorite science fiction writer? Write it in the comments.